Hello, myRockworld. This is
Alex
and Marty. We are here in Munich sitting with Jeff Scott Soto, great singer. He worked with Yngwie Malmsteen, with Talisman, Axel Woody Pell. He's in a band called Vet, which is really great. And he played with Soul Circus, a supergroup with Neil Schon. Now he's around with a new album coming soon. Jeff, tell us something about that new album called Soto. And how did the songs come together?
Well, the new album is not a solo project. It is an actual band. It's actually the lineup I'm currently touring with. We are going to be a band as of that new album forward. At the moment, they're my backup band for my solo tours because we're doing more of a celebration show for my past. All the bands that you mentioned and all the things that I've done in my life that people know me for. But the next step is to establish it as a band. And I took the idea of basically the sound sounds more like a band. It doesn't sound like a solo album. It's a much heavier direction. Therefore, it needed to have its own brand. But yet, it's still me, and I'm still going to be the kind of rider of the chariot, so to speak. But I want to sell it as a band, and these guys have been loyal to me, and they're such great musicians, and it's a privilege to have them along for the next thing, and especially when people hear it, I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised.
When will the album will be out?
At the moment, we're looking for September, like sometime in the fall of 2014.
And how did the songs come together? Did you write everything alone, or?
No, not at all. Actually, originally it was supposed to be another solo album, and I was going to take off where I left on the last album, Damage Control, but more on the heavier side. But as it got heavier and I started doing collaborations more with the guys in my band, I realized that it should be more of a family affair, and even management and other people thought that I should take it the route of Dio and Winger and Van Halen, where the band is named after the main person in the band. And since it is focused on me and my career and my everything that I've done, I can now put that focus and that name into a band situation and separate it from the other things that I've done.
So it's a full band project for you. It's something really different from what you have done before.
The same as Wet. The same as Wet or Talisman. It's the same idea in theory, except that clearly it's my name being used, and obviously I'm the forerunner. I'm the one that's calling all the shots. Even though I do turn to the guys, I lean on them for maybe musical advice. You know, I've been around for 30 years doing this stuff, and even though I listen to new music, I might like some of the new things. I don't necessarily think and write like a lot of the form and ways that the directions are going. So it's nice to actually bounce off other people who are listening to other styles and are influenced by different things.
Who is in the band?
Well, BJ is my keyboard second guitar player. My lead guitar player is Jorge Salan. Edu Caminato is my drummer, and David Zabludowski, we just call him David Z, is my bass player.
Great. There's also a collaboration with Gus G on the album. Yeah. He's guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne, and you have also provided some great vocals for his new album, I'm on Fire. How did this come together?
Yeah, I've known he's got like a right-hand man / manager friend in Thessaloniki in Greece, and I've known this guy and done shows with him and for him for many years, and he was the one that actually came to me. I got introduced to Gus at a NAMM show a few years ago. I think it was just as he got the Ozzy gig, and he told me, someday he'd like to put the two of us together, and I told him, call me anytime. I think Gus is a phenomenal guitar player. I love his work with Firewind, and of course now with Ozzy, and Gus didn't hesitate to call. When he called me, asked me to do a song on his new album, I said, well, you don't have to pay me. You don't have to pay me my normal fee, but in return, you have to write a song for my new album and play on it. So
great.
Jeff, you have worked with so many great musicians in your career, as you said, 30 years now. Is there still someone around you think one day I really would love to work with him?
No, at this point, I've worked with everybody that I've wanted to work with, and honestly, I'm ready to work with people that want to work with me. I've done enough of this collaboration stuff with people that I thought might be a good idea. And
so you're focused on your own thing now?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
There will be a special concert with Axel Woody Pell later this year. Can you tell us something about this one?
Yeah, he's headlining the Bang Your Head Festival in Bellingen, and he's doing a 2.5 hour, 3 hour extravaganza that starts with the reformation of Steeler, and he's bringing all his ex-singers from the various solo albums to come up and do guest spots. He's got some other special guest stars. I don't know how much of it's revealed. I know all of it, what's happening, but I don't want to give it away if some things are still a surprise. So it's going to be a huge Pell extravaganza, and I'm just going to be one of the cogs in that machine.
So looking very forward to it. Can you identify one specific high point from your career, or are there too many?
Yeah, I mean, as far as one of the things I cherish the most and look as a fond memory is my collaboration with Brian May and Roger Taylor, because of course everybody has their heroes, their musical heroes growing up, and of course Queen is one of my biggest, aside of even Journey was. But having worked with Journey, I realized that my heroes aren't really cracked up to what they're supposed to be, whereas the guys in Queen were even more so. They were so humble, they were so nice, and they were so respectful. And I loved every little aspect that I got to work with them or know them or even just be a part of their lives.
Okay. What are your heroes starting out playing music?
As a kid, it started with the Jackson 5. It was definitely things like Motown was. I love Stevie Wonder. I love Marvin Gaye, Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke. I grew up with a lot of soul music in my household because I'm Spanish by heritage, and Spanish people, especially my family, didn't listen to rock music. It wasn't until my brother was a teenager and hanging out with other people, he was influenced by rock music. I didn't personally like it. I thought it was noisy and trashy, and it hurt my ears. I liked Earth, Wind, and Fire and things that had a groove and things that were danceable. And I guess if you fast forward to where I am now, you see kind of where I diversified a lot of those influences into what I'm doing rock-wise, because I started as a heavy metal singer. That's why everybody knows Jeff Scott Soto as a heavy metal singer. Yeah. But as I went along the way, I realized I was missing a huge part of my life that I wanted to actually try to, mix in and blend in, and I did that even with Talisman.
Okay. Some general questions. What do you think about music and what's going on in the world in general, in case of downloads maybe?
That's always a touchy subject.
Because the music band business changed a lot.
Absolutely, and it will continue to change. I have a strange theory about that, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me. I'm not as big as Metallica and Van Halen and U2 and all the artists that are fighting against the piracy and all that, because clearly they're losing millions, but they've already made tens of millions from that. They're losing more millions from the downloads and everything. At my level of my career, I'm losing maybe thousands. So I kind of feel like I would rather people download my music and know who I am as a singer and spread it and share it around, so I actually might gain more people who might not know who I am if they have to buy my albums than to not have them, because at least if somebody downloads one of my songs or one of my albums accidentally and actually really likes it and then hears it I'm playing at their show, I'm going to get their faces looking at me at a concert. And that to me is more important, that I draw them in as an artist. Clearly the music stands for something different now. People think of it as a tool to just kind of give away, and then that brings people to live shows. You cannot download a live show's experience. You can download a bootleg or watch it on YouTube, but you can't download the experience of standing there, feeling the music, and watching a show with your own eyes. And that to me is, that's why the downloading aspect of it, as much as I don't like it, it sucks. It's something I don't really say I curse it.
Okay. Please tell us a secret or some secrets about yourself that nobody knows. Maybe a funny turbo secret or something.
Only Ingo knows. He can. He has to be. Yep. Throw the key away. He'll be killed if he reveals any. No, you know what? I'm pretty simple guy. I don't have any crazy antics and stories. We're not drunks and alcohol, druggies and all that stuff. We love what we do. We have a passion for it, and I've seen a lot of things in my life. But me personally, I'm kind of boring.
Okay. Last week we got a nice tip from Marty Friedman how to eat a porridge in a tour bus without falling out all the things, So that's also one of these secrets nobody knew.
Ah, okay.
It's not about drugs or that kind of stuff. But anyway, so you told about.
Jeff, is there anything you haven't done yet musically, and you think one day I really love to do that?
Yeah, I haven't sold a million selling record yet. So yeah, someday I'd like to do that.
So next step is playing in the arenas and big money.
I've done that. I mean, I haven't done it with my solo band, but I've done every year. I do arenas with Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I did arenas with Journey, of course. Malmsteen. I mean, all along the board.
But as we understand, that means that the new band, which is called Soto, will be a prior from your time in investment.
Yeah.
So you want to build up this band
Absolutely.
as a brand.
And I realize, and in so many years, people tell me, if you just focus on one thing and you stop doing all these side things, maybe people will follow you and not say, okay, now he's doing this, now he's doing that, and you kind of lose them along the way. Yeah. So now I'm taking this advice, and I'm just going to put all the other things aside, and my priority is the new band.
Great info. At last, some words to your fans, please.
Well, there's a reason I'm here for 30 years. It's not only because maybe I have a good voice or I sing on some good songs. The fans are there and they've always been there. I've been able to build new fans and find new influences, and the new people are catching on to what I'm doing. But they're the reason I'm still here. They're the reason I want to be here. And without them, I'm just another guy who can open his mouth and sing.
Great last word. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.